Hello and welcome to the Maple Kiwi Podcast. Over on my, am I pointing the right way? Nope. Over on my left over there, we have the other person, the Maple. I'm the Kiwi, that's the Maple. Maple, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello. As you know, I'm Switchy. Me and Ram be doing this
Yeah.
podcast together. Missed him last week. Glad to have him back. Who else
It's
we got?
good to be back. It's really good to be back. We got two very, very, very special guests. Below me, it is the man, the myth, the legend, the sweet heat. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everybody. I am Sweet Tuss Heatus. You can join us or you can beat us. How you guys doing today?
Ooh, I like that.
I am good.
And below the Maple, below Switchy, we have another man, another myth, and another legend. Introduce yourself.
What's going on? Zbruh4T. Dinner, but it's 4T because, I'm in the outback. We have tea over here. So, yeah, good to be on the podcast and good to talk to you guys. The best people to talk to.
Yeah, honestly, I'm very happy with our guest selection tonight. We got two amazing people here.
I've been looking forward to this for a while now, actually.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I wanted to get them both on when Ram was here, so I'm glad we did the whole NA takeover last week. But I'm very interested to hear from both Zebra and Sweetest today, because you guys, Sweetest, you're newer to our community, and the amount of stories you've already told, I'm like, sheesh, goddamn, he's got so much going on. We need to hear more, and I need him on the podcast. And same with you, Zebra. You probably have a lot that stuff you don't want to talk about. Pardon?
Got a bit of a rolled out receipt ready to go.
Yeah.
Some things up here and some things over there. I can be like, oh yeah, there's this one time in band camp. Just lots of different things.
Band camp.
So
I will say a good way to start things off, I noticed, is everyone show off your drink. Today, I've got myself the classic. I'm very unoriginal. Another Blue V.
Okay. Cutting in, but hey, Monster cuts in first.
What flavor of Monster is that? Pink. Is that the girl flavor? Or?
It's the sexy flavor.
Sexy flavor. I like that.
What is it?
And what do you
Just
got, Sweetest?
Just a little green tea.
Oh, what's on the mug?
It's a crab. So in my hometown, where I was born at, they made these mugs, and it's a crab because it's a big seafood town. So
oh yeah,
I love the way it looks. It looks sick.
Crab in it. Yeah,
it's dope.
Wait. Is Indiana like? Have they got coastline in Indiana?
Oh no, I'm not from Indiana.
Oh, wait a second.
Yeah, I just moved. When I moved away from home, I came up. When I got out the army, I bought a house here and stayed here. I didn't go back home.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in hearing about. Is I'm in the army, man. Like that sounds really interesting.
Is that water, Switchy?
I got water.
Damn, boy,
good old H2O. Good old H2O.
Being a good boy today. No.
Can't go wrong with that.
No alcoholic drinks and no G Fuel. We got water this week.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it's straight vodka. You're right, Kyle. Anyways, first segment as usual, raid of the week is what we wanted to try and make the start of each one. Do any of you want to start us off? Were any of you in a raid or got raided or any stories? Zebra, you want to start?
I got two, but I will say one in case it's somebody else's because I think it might be. But this was technically the week before, but it was Sweetest Heatus. I actually met him through the raid. I was his first raid. Very, very proud of that. Thank you. And there's people come in the chat, and I think it was my birthday stream. And Swedish just come in and did this raid, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like, who is this man? And then now I've gotten to know him, so definitely raid of the week, raid of the month, maybe, because
Yeah, I remember I was in your stream, Zebra, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm leaving. Bye. And then I went to go to Swedish stream, and I was like, all right, I'm leaving. Bye. But I saw your ending. I'm like, you should just raid Zebra. It's his birthday. Go for it. And now you guys have met through that, so that's awesome.
That was dope, man. It was crazy because I'd never done a raid before, so I didn't know, what it entailed. So everybody was in chat like explaining to me like, oh, you just gotta type this in and then here's the name, and I was like, okay, dope. And then I went to before I even completed it, even typed in and hit enter on the raid, I went to Twitch and I was like, they were like, yeah, Zebra, he's live, like go check him out for a second. So I went in and I was like, yo, I like this dude's vibe, bro. Like I was like, I like his vibe already. Like, yeah, he seems like a chill dude. And yeah, that's how it started. And Zebra's been awesome ever since, man.
Thanks, man.
What about
How'd you go with the raid, by the way? Sorry, Suji. I was gonna say, how'd you go with your first raid though? Did you have trouble? Because I've seen some people, like they'll put the slash and then they'll post the thing where it says like slash with a space, and then they're like, oh, hang on a second.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the count's down. Oh, hang on, I've done it wrong.
Oh yeah, complete noob. It probably took me like 2, 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah, naturally, same here.
Yeah.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah, for real. My whole life is a learning curve.
Well, you'll get down some stuff, you'll get better at it, but then there's always just new obstacles that show up on Twitch, honestly. They comes out of nowhere. Ram, what about you for raid? Anything?
So this isn't really a raid, but this is something that I do want to bring up. And it was yesterday. I was left speechless at the start of yesterday's stream. I pressed the go live button and I had never seen that many people click on my stream that early on. It was like 5 minutes in and there was a solid like 14, 15 people. And I was just, my heart just melted. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, how are there this many people? And it was just a very, very wholesome moment. It was more of just, it was just a huge thank you to like everyone. Yes, we've rated some people, but nothing really stood out to me this week as much as what happened yesterday. That's gonna forever be in my heart. Like, thank you guys, seriously. That was awesome.
Man, you've made this community what it is as well, though. Really, so everyone respects and loves you, man. That's what it is, for sure.
Definitely.
That's dope. Yeah, you seemed very happy when I showed up. I mean, I came in towards the end of it, but you sounded like the start of your stream was amazing. So kind of bummed I missed out, but I was so busy with setting up desk stuff and getting this all stuff figured out. And I was playing some Apex with Sweetness.
Can we take a moment, by the way, chat? Twitchy's new setup looks fire. All right, the new camera angle is looking very crisp. I love it.
I messed around with camera settings as well as, I don't know. I need to get used to this. It's very strange still, but what else? For my raid of the week, the one that just pops into mind recently, one of my friends, during the charity stream a while back, someone named Logic Bomb,
you like Logic?
Yeah, he raided me a while back though, and he came in with another streamer named Nursey, which she does Rocket League and stuff, but I was chilling in her stream earlier today, and usually she averages around like 60-ish viewers, and she's like pretty good, but I hopped into her stream earlier because I noticed that she was at like 400, which I was like, what happened? So I went in there and talked to her. She got raided by Athena, and I was I'm like, that's dope. And I remember closer to my charity stream about 2 months ago, I know she got raided by Athena, and also it was like 50 or 100 gifted subs from her, which I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. The Rocket League Athena. Flick Athena. Oh my god. That's insane.
So it was dope. I went and chilled in her stream a little bit earlier, and because I was like, how the heck is she up like this high? But yeah, she got raided by Athena earlier in the night, which she usually streams like super early in the morning for me, which she was just live like 2 hours ago, which I was like, why is she live right now? Like, it's so weird, but
it's crazy.
She got the raid, so
I want to end a live stream if that happened. I'd just be like too happy. I just wouldn't want to end.
Yeah, no kidding. She's I don't know, she's pretty entertaining as well. But hers is like her name's her name's Nursey. It has a whole bunch of E's in it. I'd have to search up a name for it, but
let me take this moment to just say, dear anyone who wants to start a Twitch channel, do not make it a name that has a lot of the same character, because no one's gonna remember the same, like how many of the same character you have. Like if my channel name was Ramses with like 4 or 5 A's, you wouldn't remember how many A's. Just don't. Don't do it. I like short size simple names, like names like Go Switchy, Zebra, and Sweet as Heatus. Those are just good names, great names.
I have given the shout out in chat to Nursey. It is 3 E's.
3 See, there you go. See, you had it wrong. Point proven.
Well,
Sweetest as well. We have to hear your raid of the week, technically.
So my raid of the week is I'm gonna give it to Paju Maju.
Pudge. He's sick.
Yeah, he was.
I don't think I've met this person.
Yeah, so
Dino
Paj,
community.
yeah. Paj is, man. It was pretty awesome. He was suggested to me. I want to say by, it might have been Bam. I think Bam might have suggested Paj to me. And Paj has just been one. He's just positive vibes from the jump. Just a very kind. I can tell he has like a kind, very like caring spirit about him. And but he's also very entertaining. Without even, he didn't have a webcam, but just like him talking, his energy that he was giving out, the way he's conveying things that's going on screen, it was like a great narrator for a story. If you ever seen like those movies, we all watch kid movies or whatever, but the Disney movie narrator, you can always remember that guy's voice if you hear it, right? So like Paj has that kind of energy, but it's also very, very fun and relaxed environment. So I did like it. And every time, like even, Paj has come back and he, followed and then rated my stream and stuff. So Paj is he's a very cool guy, man. Like that was probably one of the for this week that passed, that was probably one of the dopest ones that was suggested to me. So shout out to Paj, man. That he's a cool dude. Very, very chill guy. And he works hard, because every time I'm looking on Twitch, Paj is on, and I think he came in, he was like, he did a 15-16 hour stream.
Oh wow.
And then after the 15-16 hour, he still jumped into my freaking chat and was in there talking to me, and I was like, yo, go to sleep, dude. Like
I think that's awesome that like you meet someone and they come back and chuck a follow, and like they come back and thank you, and you guys end up just making you have that bond. I love that. That's like the best part.
You yourself, Sweetest, just had like a 14-hour stream last night. So.
Yeah, first one.
Really?
Yeah, it was a long story. Yeah, so he does push-ups every time he dies, 10 push-ups every time he dies. So he did 500 push-ups. Was it 500 that you ended on?
Yeah. We actually did. Yeah, 5. We actually ended at 510, but I didn't count the last 10. So we did 500.
That's crazy.
Night.
I definitely.
Yes, I'm gonna say, like, I play Breath of the Wild. I know how many times you die in that game. When I saw you put up a challenge that you're gonna do push-ups every time you die, I was like, "Good luck, my man." Yeah, struggle, man.
Like, whoa, you get random. He had teammates as well. He's not like playing with like he played with Switchy for a bit, but like random teammates as well. He's like, yo, these guys know that I'm doing this challenge right now. I'm getting messed up.
Yeah, it was crazy. We did. So kind of, I guess to explain a little bit, I wanted to play Apex, so I chose to play Apex instead of Breath of the Wild this time, right? And the reason I did that was I wanted it to be less out of my control, so purely off of my skill against whoever else in the world and whatever in scenarios and situations, right? So I took that and I said, okay, we're gonna do 10 push-ups every time I don't win. So every time I don't win a game in a battle royale, it's 10 push-ups, right?
You're putting yourself on high expectations, bro.
Yeah, I know, right? So, and it's called strength of skill, for that reason, because I'm either going to get strong or I'm going to get better. One of the two.
Hey,
so
we were popping off too. So
I
was having fun.
Switchy came in.
It's a good motivator.
It felt like I played with everybody from all types of different time zones, man. Like I played with Arnie because Arnie came in. I played with Arnie. I played with one of my a buddy of mine that's on the east coast of Canada. Then I played with Switchy, who's more towards the west coast. So I got to play with a lot of different people, as well as randoms and not getting teammates. I dealt with everything. So but it was fun.
14 hours though. Like
we went for 4. I just checked. It was 14 and a half hours. Wow. 14 and a half. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Actually,
you weren't struggling like on your 500, I was like, you think by now he'd be like, no, man, you're like,
I know you're still
look at me
pumped.
go.
You're
Yeah,
still
you
pumped.
gotta finish
Dude.
strong, man. You gotta finish strong.
indeed.
But yeah, it was
I
a
was
lot
gonna
of fun.
say this is a very, very, very good segue into one of the topics that I had written down. I was gonna talk about one. Congratulations to Arnie for hitting 150 followers.
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
Yes.
And Arnie was saying that he wants to do a 24-hour stream. Now, I want to just preface this by saying, guys, in my 2 milestones that I did, I just did 12-hour streams. I don't know how you guys do it. And I just wanted to talk about, like, how do you guys stream so long? How do you not get tired? Arnie, how do you feel about doing a 24-hour stream? Switchy, you've done 24 hours, right?
Yep.
How was it? I want to know what that's like, streaming for so long. These 18 hours, those are big numbers. I can do 12 hours, but at the end, I'm tired. I am tired.
For me, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, it is tiring, but I mean, depending on how the stream's going, it carries you through. Like doing the charity stream, it was amazing. The amount of feedback we got from the community, like everyone stopping in, like the average viewers was so high because so much people were like there, like supporting the cause, which was amazing. And I mean, it did start to die out at about 6 a.m. after everyone went to bed, and I literally didn't have anybody to play with at that time. But then after like this was when I was just getting back into Apex, so I was just solo playing Apex, and then I went back to Rocket League because I'm like, oh, we started with Rocket League, let's go back to Rocket League. When I went there, we got like back-to-back triple raids of like over 20 people, so that, I mean, for the final stretch, kept me going, and that's for sure. You definitely need some sort of push to keep going that long, but I mean, like I was telling Sweetest yesterday, I did the 24-hour, and then the very next day I did another 14-hour. So...
Man, the longest I went was 7 hours, and that was my birthday. Like, because I started like 4:20 a.m. because my birthday is 4:20. I was like, well, it suits. And that was 7.5 hours, and I was exhausted, man. I don't know how you do so long. Like, damn. Like, I think I usually do about 3 or 4 hours roughly, and then I'm usually like, so.
Yeah, it was tough to mentally prepare for, okay, I've got to stream for 24 hours. It's kind of scary because it's like,
I feel like you do prepare for it. Yeah, I prepared for my 12 hours.
I didn't prepare. Well, I just was like, I'm going to play some Rocket League, maybe some Phasmo, maybe some...
Bro, imagine 24 hours of Rocket League. Oh my god.
I mean, I would say a good 6 to 8 hours was Rocket League, I'd say, because it started off, we had like 8 people in a custom game. We're doing like 4v4 chaos on Rocket League, which not fun, but it was fun. It was fun, but it wasn't fun because 4v4 is so chaotic. But yeah, honestly, I didn't plan like anything game wise or like making sure people were gonna be up and keeping me entertained, but it all worked in the end, and it was great. We raised like what, $420 Canadian, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Audio listeners, I'm sorry for the cough.
You know, on that note,
I want to ask, by the way. Sorry, go ahead, Zebra. Go ahead.
Oh, you're up. Who's jumping in?
No, the only thing I was going to ask was just Switchy. How did you, let your parents be all right with it? Because that's one thing I feel like I would never be able to do is a 24-hour stream because my parents will butt in every 2 minutes. Like legit, and I know that they're gonna be like, "That's not healthy for you. You shouldn't do that," and they're just not gonna let me.
For me,
and I personally don't think I can. I don't have the energy.
My parents just didn't know.
You live in your room anyway.
I live in my room, and since I'm like, out back in the shed, I mean, as long as I wasn't too loud, I don't see my mom that often. If I just stay in my room, I'm not seeing her really. So it wasn't that big of a. I mean, it's as if I'm living on my own pretty much. So wasn't too bad. But yeah, the one thing about my mom though, the dyeing my hair pink. Mom wasn't too happy with that, but she actually does really like the hair I have now.
This is awesome.
She does really like it, but it's hard to see in the lighting. But with the blue and purple at the front, she likes it a lot better than just the full pink. She's like, the full pink was just way too much.
Yeah, it was really
cool. You like the orange?
I don't know if I'd like orange hair. I could not see myself with.
You'd like to keep your soul.
Yeah, sure,
Put it in chat.
sure.
I like Clippy's comment. I like your hair. It's like Roblox hair.
What does that even mean?
I
What
don't know if that's a compliment
What does
or
that
not.
mean?
Uh,
What does that mean?
Yeah, it's kind of vibe flashing now. Wait, maybe not. Oh, yep. It's usually just stays on. It doesn't. Not supposed to do that. It's just okay. Decided to do its own thing.
what about you, Sweetest? How does doing the 18 hours affect you and your family? Because I know you got a family to run, man. So
Mhm.
how do you sort of manage that?
So, usually, I try to stream when my kids are asleep, right? So it'll make my day a little bit longer, but you guys kind of, you guys, I guess I'll get to that in a second, but you guys have made it so much more fun to be able to stream, right? So, but yesterday, well, I guess it'd be 2 days ago now. But when I decided to do it, I was originally only gonna stream for about 4 hours.
That's always how it goes, though, isn't it?
And I told myself when I went to do the challenge, I said, I'm probably only gonna be able to get to realistically maybe 250, 275 push-ups. And once I saw how much fun I was having, shout out to Emily and Kyle and Miss Normus and God, man, so many people that were coming through and like just giving me a boost of energy, man. Like you guys were like a shot of adrenaline every time. Everybody that came through and was just giving me so much love and like talking to me and just going crazy about the stuff that was going on. Like, man, it helps so much. It really does. So when that was going on, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna push my limits. We're gonna see how far we can go and how much we can do. And thank God for my wife. Oh, thank God for that woman. Cause there's no way I would have been able to do it. My son is just a monster sometimes. So there's no way I could do, something that long and without her being there, So she definitely helped out. And then even allowing me when I got off stream, to just go to sleep and then rest and then get back up. So it's been an adjustment because I know it can be time consuming, right? And it doesn't have a payout that is always visible in the moment, right? It doesn't have like a benefit that you can see in the moment. But she told me, she can tell just from me streaming again. She was like, you're having more fun. You seem happier. You seem, like you're in better spirits. You seem like you're enjoying life more. And it's true, So I
can agree
think
with that.
for the time and the effort and the new things that I learn as I'm going along and the community that I've been brought into and happily, that I want to succeed for, it's definitely made my quality of life a lot happier. So yeah.
Yep.
A lot of fun.
Preach it, bro, because I 100% agree with that too, man. Like, I started using Twitch, honestly, I was going through a really rough time for a bit and like trying to work on bettering myself. You're like, oh, but you're addicted to Twitch now. I know, but it's better than another addiction. And honestly, being in a chat with people and a community and getting to know people and then coming back and being like, yo, what's going on? Like it's Zebra. And I'm like, yo, what's up? And then know people, I don't know, man. It's really good. Like you feel like a part of the community and I'm loving it. And even now, like it gets better and better all the time. Getting to know people personally and yeah, it's wicked.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the people that I've met through Twitch is like it's mind blowing, and I would like Dina was saying, I would love to name every single one. But the downside of doing shout outs is I feel like you're gonna miss someone out. But there's just so many incredible people I've met. The latest, of course, being Sweetest. I like the fact that we just happened to run into you. Big shout out to Expired Soup who told me about you, man. But that was just it was so awesome to just have another person to add to the list. Like before I did Twitch, oh man, I was a loner gamer, you know. But now
Mhm.
just like I met you guys, and it's incredible. It's incredible to just have so many people to talk to and have fun with.
Dude. So I'd on to tag on to that. So that day, to give you guys a little context about what happened the day you raided me, right? That was going to be 90% sure that was going to be my final day ever turning on my webcam to stream. And the reason was, so I'd actually started got my PC and set up everything to stream on Twitch last February. Yeah, I believe it's last February. So right after my birthday, last year.
A year ago, and then a few
Yeah,
months.
yeah.
Oh
Yep.
shit. Okay.
So, and of course, you know, the struggle bus, I was driving it, right? So, but streaming was like, I was just, and part of it is my luck too. I know it, but like, I would have freaking so many like just negative interactions. People would come to my chat and just, I'm talking like I got used to the band hammer, man. Like it was getting crazy like that. And I didn't understand why. You know, I was like, what the hell? Like, what am I doing wrong? So little things like that, and then of course, like other things in life. You know, I was working out. You know, I was in the army, so I was working as an army recruiter, and when you do a job like that, as a recruiter, you have to go out, you have to talk to people, you have to, you know, you want to get people to join the army and stuff like that. And like, you have to talk to people even when you know they're not interested, right?
Mhm.
So you get used to talking. But the problem with it comes, it's so mentally draining. It's mentally draining. Like they'll tell you, you know, oh, you got to get used to being told no. People are going to tell you no, right? And but it's not just the no. Like I could walk up to somebody and be like, "Hey, you want to join the army?" And they'd be like, "No," and I'd be like, "All right, cool. I'll just go
So
to
you
the."
actually actively like you didn't like work on base and have people just come there like because it
Oh
was like a
no,
you had
there's no base here. There's no army base here. So
yeah.
they have us in like a office, and there's like, you know, there's anywhere between, you know, 5 to 9 people inside the office, right? And what they do is they assign you areas. So they'll assign you whole like strip maps, and you have to go through those areas and try to find people to join the army. So that was my job, and the area I was in was horrible. Like
Mm.
to give you a quick overview, to be able to join the army, you have to be you know, between certain ages, so like 17 to 35. You have to be high school graduate or GED. You have to have at least those things. Um, you have to be able to physically be able to perform certain stuff, and you know, you basically have to have a clean record for the most part, right?
Yeah, I'll continue on. I'll jump
Yeah.
on the end of
Okay. Yeah. So in the area that I was in, like, you know, there were people that wanted to join, but they had so many other things that they couldn't do it, right? So what would happen is when you don't find somebody to join the army, then they kind of punish you. They say it's like teaching, retraining, but it's really
Mhm.
punishment for like, oh, you're not doing your job. Which it's crazy because your job is completely left up to your environment. So if people don't want to join, you can't make somebody join, right?
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
make somebody do something.
No, you
So
can't.
so I had my area, of course, was like, you know, not only do you have people that are unable to join because they can't pass a test, they can't do this, can't do that, but then people didn't want to. So it was like it was double fold, right? And so dealing with all that with work stuff, and then I was still training as a fighter, and coach COVID hit, so I couldn't go fight like I wanted to. So it was a bunch of stuff. And then when I would stream, it was like, you know, negative interaction. So I was like, shit, man, like I don't know, man. Like what's going on in my life right now where it's like nothing will go right, right? So and so that day when I decided to boot up, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a chill game. I'm gonna try to change up. I'm not gonna do something competitive. I'm not gonna do something like that. I want to do something chill. And we're gonna turn it on. We're gonna stream it. We're gonna do 3 hours, and then after those 3 hours, I'll be, win, lose, or draw. Like we'll probably call it quits after that, and then try to find something else to do. And
really, just could have not streamed that day, and this never would have happened. And
yeah. What's up? Oh, what's up, Switchy?
What did my camera just do? Sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was like,
It just
you
went
got, like,
really
bright.
bright. I didn't do anything. It just
had to highlight that hair.
Did your ring light just go off or something?
no.
Well,
I'm gonna turn down my ring light now though, because that is very bright now. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Sorry, that just really threw me off. Like I don't even know why it adjusted like that. I didn't do anything.
Turn it up.
Was that a little
Yeah.
Emily?
Hey,
Sneak peek?
why am I being bashed on by Brady? I'm just like silently reading all the messages. I'm like, bro, what have I done?
I know.
Quickly on that note of the military, I
Yes.
actually tried for the military when I left school.
Mhm.
I had an apprenticeship that I tried for like spray painting cars because I was a little graffiti boy. I was like, I want to spray paint cars all day. And then when I finally got there, like 90% of your day is just sanding cars. I'm like, oh,
Mm.
okay. Wasn't what I thought. So I
Yeah.
tried for the Army and the Air Force actually. And I wanted to do aircraft armament technician where I work on like weaponry for the planes and like, they do the war games. I thought that sounds so cool. I tried for it. They actually said no, not because of my smallish record, it was because of my father's. He has a lot of long criminal history. And they said there's like a certain piece of paper that I got to sign, like a not like a I don't know if it's like a top secrecy law act thing that I know certain things once I joined that
Yeah.
they won't take that. All they offered me was a cook for the Navy, and I'm like,
Oh,
man, I would feel sick being out on the boat, and I'm not a cook. I mean, maybe now I am. Bit of a ZB cooking show, but a little bit of a descent. So yeah, like I wasn't sure what to do after that because I tried 2 different things, and yeah, like I'm always interested in doing like the military and stuff though. But at the same time, it's kind of like, don't know. I guess I was just trying to find something because I couldn't get the job at the time, and my apprenticeship fell through, and my apprenticeship also they said no because of my asthma, and I was like, wait, can't spray paint cars because of my asthma. You realize that I have like 50 cans of spray paint most nights, and I'm like this close to the wall spray painting, like inhale. I'm just like, really? Come on.
Yeah.
So
That's man. My time in the Army was like, I don't know, like being a medic. So like one of the first things that happened, so you go through basic training, you go through AIT, right? So which is like your training. So it teaches you, basic training is just your basic, this is how to be a soldier. And then you go to your actual job training, which is teaching you how to do your job. So
specialization kind of thing.
yeah, so like to be an EMT outside of the Army, the schooling for it takes like a year. Maybe a little less, like 11 and a half months, but it takes about a year to be able to get your certifications and stuff. In the Army, you get it in 2 months.
Oh,
So I learned everything that an EMT outside of the Army learns in literally 2 months. And like,
Oh wow.
it was like somebody took a fire hose and just put it up to your face and blasted you with information. Like
I like as knowledge.
yeah, knowledge, take it.
Knowledge.
So I get to my unit or whatever in North Carolina. We're chilling. Everything, it starts off, it's really, chill, right? I'm like, oh, this medic stuff, it's nothing to it. This is before I got married. So I'm sleeping in the barracks. It's a random Saturday, and like I think it was like November. I get a knock on my door at 3 a.m. So I'm like, oh man, like, is it a barracks check? Is like, are they doing room checks or something? I open the door. This guy who's from a communications platoon is standing at my door, and he's like, hey, can I come in? I'm like, what's going on? Like, are you okay? I have like the door cracked, right? So I'm like looking through it. I'm like, because I was from the hood, man. Like, somebody knocking your door in the middle of the night, it's like, oh shit, what's going on? So I was like, hey man, you all right? And he was like, yeah, can you open the door? So I'm like, what's going on though? He's like, I need help. So I open it. I'm like, okay, cool. I open the door. He has a gunshot wound through his leg.
Oh shit.
Right? Now, mind you, we're not we're not at war. We are
Yeah.
we're just in the city, right? So I'm like, what the hell
What
happened?
the
So
heck?
I pull him into my room, and he just had his leg covered with a towel. And so I take the towel off, it's soaked in blood, and he's wearing jeans. So I take a kitchen knife, I cut the jeans off so I can see what's going on. And I can literally see there's a hole about this size. I don't know if you can, about that size there. About that size there.
Ugh.
And it's straight through his leg. Like I can see through his whole leg, like straight through the floor. And it just missed his femoral artery. So your femoral artery, for anybody who doesn't know, is a artery, one of the main arteries, and it goes through both of your legs, right? Both sides of your legs. If that artery is cut, you'll bleed out in like under a minute. Like it's very quickly. So I can see the femoral artery just like pulsing, like going back and forth. So I quickly grab his belt off of him, tie it around his leg to make a tourniquet to stop any more blood loss. And then kind of like, just I went and got my bag. So we have an aid bag. I grabbed that. I'm packing the wound and making sure it's wrapped up and everything. And then I call his platoon sergeant. We get him to go to the hospital. He's still alive. So for anybody who wants to know, he's good. He's still alive. But and he might still be in the army actually. But it was crazy. Like I was like, that was literally like, and if you're wondering what happened, he went, because I had to find out, he went back home, which was about 2 hours away from our base where we were at. He went back home for the weekend, and when he was back home, he bought a new gun, was trying to show it off, wanted to put it into his waistline, and he shot himself in the leg.
Bit of a, what's that guy from Eminem?
Yeah.
Cheddar Bob.
Yeah, Cheddar Bob. That's really what he shot himself in the leg with his own gun. Yeah. So and then drove 2 hours back to the barracks to get help.
Oh.
Yeah. So he could have died driving like an idiot. So
wow.
I made sure to tell him every day how stupid he was, but like
Fair
little
enough.
moments like that, like that was like my intro to the army. I was like, I'm glad I learned these skills. This could have been crazy. Yeah, welcome. Like
welcome, you're paired with idiots.
Yeah, you're paired with idiots who can buy their own guns. Like
it's like Apex Legends.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like we're getting a random teammate. Like but yeah, like that was just craziness, man. Like I couldn't even begin to so many countless stories of dumb people in the army, but
I have those stories not in the army. I mean, I can tell you right now, just quickly, a similar story, not a gunshot wound, but a stab wound to the throat, like a big one. I have a really, really messed up biological father who is just big time criminal my whole life, just in and out of jail, just crazy. And I used to go with him on the weekends, like every second weekend or something, and spend time. And, he was going through drug addictions and all kinds of stuff. So he was fighting with my uncle. And a little bit out there, but I don't know what started it. I can't remember. But I remember I was about 8, 9 years old around then. And my uncle smashed a glass bong and stabbed him straight in the throat right in front of me. And I remember, I don't know why, but like all the lights were like dimming and flickering and stuff. Like it was like an intense, like a movie scene. And like they were screaming at each other and there was just blood everywhere. And I'm screaming as a kid, like, stop. And all the neighbors in the street coming out. And then, I can't remember what like the next step from there, but he got outside, we got in the car and he's trying to drive and he's like just pouring out. And I'm like trying to hold the steering wheel. And we went for 10, 15 minutes and he's trying to drive. And I'm just like, trying to hold the steering. It was like, I mean, that's one of many things that has just happened with him, especially. But yeah, like I've grown up through some interesting situations. That's
dude.
For sure.
I was just about to say, maybe Switchy, we should change the little dripping maple onto the kiwi fruit to be red, just with all the going on right now. Like, just so you guys can have some.
I mean, initially when Megan drew up the what's it called?
It looked like blood. I remember.
Yeah, she drew it. It was
art.
red, and I'm like, it looks like blood.
Yeah, I've had a few medic situations myself. even recently, like my 95-year-old nan, like my great nan, she lives alone until recently, last few months. Last year she like I was helping her take the washing out. She went to like lean on like this bit for the basket, just straight head forward into the wall in the ground, and she had a cut on her head here and on top, which I didn't see. You know, her white hair went fully red, like punk rocker style, and it was just pouring out. And I'm just like, oh, you know, and just
Jeez.
covered me, and just let's not get too much into blood. But I
Dude,
call up ambulance. 15 minutes, they're still not here. I'm calling up Emily. She got there before my fiance. She comes down because she's a nurse. So I'm like, babe, the ambulance isn't here. Can you hurry up? Like, what's going on with these people? I'm ringing them back. Like, can you hurry up? And she's just like, "What?" And I'm like, it's fine, it's fine. Like,
dude,
fine, by the way, she's fine. She's happy. Don't
dude,
around.
that's crazy.
So,
So the last bloody story, right? This is the last one I got.
We'll do one
But
more.
like, so
Yeah,
I
chat's like,
actually,
what's
Chat's
so
like,
much
yeah,
bloody
chat's like, what is
blood?
happening?
blood. What's with no more? It's a horror movie.
I do want to hear one more. Let's hear it.
So I actually died in 2019. So in 2019, and it's the craziest thing, right? So like, to give you a little bit about my life, right? So I was I
you
was
ready?
in in a gunfight. Well, not a gunfight. I was in a shootout when I was like 16. Not expecting to be in one. Just ended up in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 16 was that. I jumped out of planes when I was in the army. I'm talking about like I've jumped through clouds before. So like,
Man's
and
apexed it before he was apexing.
yeah. And I'm in it, and even survived my parachute not opening up and having to pull out a reserve parachute.
Holy
And yeah, so like plenty of things have happened to me where it's like, okay, he survived all of that, right? Like this guy should have been up out of here. And then the thing that ultimately killed me but couldn't keep me down, just had me out for the bell a little bit, was the dentist. So I went to go get my wisdom teeth removed. All right, I had 4 wisdom teeth. I get my wisdom teeth removed, and you have like you have little scars, right? And I leave. They had it packed with gauze, so I leave, and the dentist office is only like 5 minutes away from my house. I leave and go home, and I'm bleeding, right? And they said you're gonna have a little bit of blood. It's okay.
yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm bleeding, bleeding. Blood's not stopping. We go back to the dentist office. They're like, oh, it's okay. We'll just pack it with more gauze. You just need fresh gauze in there. I'm like, all right, cool. They pack it again. I go home. I sit down on the couch and I feel my mouth pooling up with blood. And I'm like, okay, maybe I just gotta change the gauze out. So I take the gauze that they had in there out and I pack new gauze in, just like they said. I bleed through that. So I'm like, okay, this might be a normal thing. Maybe this is what it's supposed to be like. So I take some more out, I pack new ones in. I bleed through that. Next thing I know, like, I don't have any more gauze. So
Yeah.
I'm like bleeding to the point of like, I wish I had something to show you. Like, imagine like a big mixing bowl. It was literally like that, just blood.
I would have fainted by that.
So my wife, my wife had called the ambulance at this point, right? So we're just waiting for the ambulance to get there. The ambulance gets there, and the guy's like, he looks at the bowl that I've like bled into, and he's like, okay, we gotta go. So they put me in the back of the truck, and he's like asking me questions like, hey, what happened? What was going on? So I tell him like, hey, this is everything that happened. Or I'm trying to tell him as I'm bleeding, like, oh, I was at the dentist, wisdom teeth. Like I'm giving him like, yeah, I'm trying to talk while explaining while I'm bleeding. So they give me these ice packs to kind of put in my mouth to kind of try to slow the bleeding down. And the guy, he's like asking me like, where do you work? This, that, and the third. So I'm telling him like, oh yeah, I'm a medic. I kind of know, I've lost a lot of blood. He's like, I don't know how you're conscious right now. Like that's what the EMT in the back of the truck is telling me. He's like, I don't know how you're conscious. How are you still awake talking to me with as much blood that you've lost? So I'm like, I literally looked at him and I can remember going, I don't know. So we get to the hospital, and once I get in there, they laid me down, and the doctor is trying to like put sutures in my mouth, and he's like, we need to close it up, because there's an artery that was nicked in your gum, so we need to close it up as fast as possible. So he's trying to do that while I'm awake, and he's like, "Are you okay with pain?" And I'm like, dude, I'm dying. I don't know, like I don't know.
Push good.
So
That's crazy.
as
Like,
this is going on, I can remember I can remember the part before the death, right? So as he's doing that, I can see the room, like my field of view is getting smaller.
Oh
And
shit! Like a video
as
game
it,
when it gets
yeah,
black.
yeah,
Like,
like it's getting smaller.
oh
And
shit!
as he's doing it, so my wife and my daughter, because I didn't have my son yet. So my wife and my daughter are like at the doorway to the room that I'm in. So I can see them like at an angle. So I grabbed the doctor's arm and I was just like, I just looked at him, and while he's like still in my mouth, like with one hand and a suture in my mouth, and I grabbed him, and he was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Is everything okay?" And I was just like, "No, sorry." And that was the last thing I remember, right? So
wow.
while in death, I actually had a really like long dream. And it was oddly peaceful, like oddly peaceful, like scary peaceful. Like
Ooh, okay.
there was
Hmm.
it wasn't any noise. It was like imagine being in like if you're laying in a warm pool, if that makes sense. Like your whole body is just immersed in like a warm pool. And it's
The
like
chat is just.
it was yeah.
Chat's been they're just calling you immortal and Jesus in there. And I just like default skills like while in death writing down notes.
So like
So good.
as I'm laying there, or I can't say laying there, but as I'm in this moment, it was like being able to really hear your thoughts. You know, you speak to yourself, or when you speak in your head, you hear your voice in your head, right? But it was like being able to go, there was a voice like, "Are you okay?" And I was able to respond like, "Yes, I'm okay."
Oh,
Like, like it was like that. Like it was crazy. So like after having this conversation that felt like it took forever, like, are you at peace? Are you okay? Are you happy? Are you finished? And answering these questions like, yes, no, yes, no, 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 yes. Um, the next thing I saw was this really bright light. So in my mind, I was like, is that the light I'm supposed to go to? Like
yeah. You're not supposed
that,
to go to that, right?
like
Like, say,
so like I guess that I was like, and then the thought of like, it's over, like shit, I don't get to see like my kid grow up and like graduate from high school, like I don't get to see her go to college, like oh fuck, like man, I'm gonna haunt the shit out that doctor, bro. Like so like those things going on, and then that bright light went from really bright to like focused, and I opened my eyes and I was in a hospital bed. And when I was in the bed, like I looked to my right, and my wife was there. And of course she's crying. She was like, very, very emotional. And I was like I was like, "What you crying for?" And she was like you were gone. She was like, "You were gone." She was like, you were out of here. Like you were
damn, man.
dead, and she was like, "I didn't know what to do." So um my coworkers that showed up later, and they were like man, just telling me like what they went through from their point of view, from their end. And of course my mom calls and stuff, and my mom's like, very emotional as well. Especially being that my brother next oldest to me had died 2 years before. So
she
she
would have been
was,
angry. Like,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
But-
So she was like, you know, of course, my mom was on the phone, like, all the things that you've done that have been dangerous. And
was
this, you know, it was this. And she's like, you need to press charges. You need to do this. So all this going on. I was just like, whoa, like, I really was like, I was out of here, man. Like, so they told me, like, yeah, you flatlined for probably like 3 minutes.
That's a
And,
long
like,
time.
yeah, they were
Wow.
like, for 3 minutes, you were just, there was nothing.
Because isn't there a certain time when if you're gone for a certain amount, you start to get like brain damage and things like that start to happen from no, yeah, man.
Yeah. So that so it was like he was like, we're gonna run tests on you. We're gonna check to make sure like there's no permanent damage to your brain or your health or anything, your mental, anything like that. And oddly enough, out of all of that whole thing, dying and everything, the only thing that happened that I still have effects for to this day are are like this corner of my mouth from like right here to right here. So this half of my lip from here to here, I have no feeling.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, of all the things that can happen, I'm like, I'll take that. If that's the,
I mean,
yeah, like,
I agree with what
Right.
Brady was saying. Like, how have we not canceled this dentist yet? Like, this dentist needs to be gone. Like,
yeah,
Trying to press charges or like what happened there? I'm
Yeah.
curious to know. Dentist.
So this is the crazy thing. This is why I hate America sometimes. I go to press charges about it, right? And because I'm like, this is later, of course, after I healed. And
Sorry.
so they were like, I go to like four different law offices, four different law offices. And they basically said, if you want to press charges about it, you have to they have to have put in the paperwork that death was not an option, like that you couldn't possibly die from this happening as a
So you
result.
have a form to say
Yeah, so you have to sign a form for a procedure, and in that form they basically like put in there like if complications occur, they're basically not held liable, right? So, but the good part was I was like, okay, so I can't press charges like that, right? But what we can do is, me and the people I work with, we basically got together and we put together, kind of like a petition with that surgeon's name on it, just stating, hey, these are all the things that happen, and this is how this dental office treated it. This is how this dude treated it. So after that, like, he doesn't have a job anymore, which is good. Like, he's not gonna be able to work on anybody else ever again. So
especially for an artery though as well. Like
exactly.
I think next time I go to the dentist, I'm gonna be checking every fucking piece of paper now. I'm like reading through that shit like crazy. Like it's
Scares
yeah.
me because I feel like I need to get my wisdom teeth out very
So,
soon. I never had to deal.
Don't let my experience scare you.
I never like had to deal with, or like I just never really thought about it for the longest time. I never had like a dental plan for the longest time because it was kind of screwed over between my mom and dad when they split. So I kind of just haven't been on a dentist plan. So I haven't been to the dentist in a long time, but I've noticed as of recently my wisdom teeth are starting to pop up and stuff like that. In the past few months, like randomly my gums will get inflamed or whatever and be like kind of painful for like a day or two, and then it will go away, and then like 2 weeks it will come back again. So I feel like I'm gonna have to deal with it sometime soon, but since I'm still not on a dental plan or anything, it sounds like I need to actually go into like the hospital and do it. But I mean, since I'm in Canada, it's not as bad, but like still, that's another thing. I've heard a lot of, as of recent, I've heard a lot of stories about wisdom teeth getting pulled out, and I'm like, crap.
So like, and in mine, what made mine, I know, right? What made mine so bad was, that swelling that you get, that painful, that inflammation that you get. So mine was twice more aggravated because I'm a fighter. So you get hit in the face, you get hit in the jaw and stuff. So like, the days after practice, when I would have that pain, that swelling, it felt like I couldn't open my mouth. Like, so that's why I had to get mine taken out, but it almost took me out. So
mine goes like, mine will be like, this side will be sore for like 2 days, and then like 2 weeks later it'll go to this side, and then it'll go back to that side. It's only my bottom ones mainly, but The ones here and here are just fucking
Okay.
annoying.
In the chat, I just want to say, demo plan. Lisa needs braces. That's the first thing I think of.
This is pretty interesting that you tell me that some medical professionals nearly cost your life. Because I've had an experience nowhere near as bad as you, Sweetest. But I know anyone's got something that can top that. But as a diabetic, I have to do blood tests every now and then. And as a diabetic, your sugar levels will either be high or low. They're never quite perfect, right?
Yeah.
And now when you do a blood test, you're usually fasting. You're not meant to be eating.
Yeah.
So I wake up in the morning and I don't have a breakfast and I go to do my blood test. Now the problem is my sugar was already kind of dropping.
Yeah.
Right? And I didn't have breakfast, so it was going down. All right.
Man.
Now sugar is in the blood. Okay.
Yeah.
So I go to do my blood test and they're taking out bloods, and I thought it was gonna be one tube. I looked at the paper again. You know how many tubes? They took 5. I don't know what they needed 5 for. Okay, so I see them filling it up one by one, and I'm feeling drowsy.
Drained.
I can't feel anything. And that's just because they're literally just taking out sugar, and my sugar is dropping and dropping and dropping. And I couldn't make coherent sentences. Apparently, I was just like sugar, sweet, dizzy. Like I was just saying words, right? And I remember just telling the doctor to I just said stop. And the last thing I said was, I need something sweet. And then I instantly just fainted in the chair, in the blood test chair. I fainted. Now, I didn't bring anything with me. I had nothing sweet on me. I usually have, my wherever it is, trusty box of jelly beans that I use on stream. I usually take that with me for a situation like that.
They should have something there.
Well, that's the thing. I was lucky that I was at a lab test center, right?
Yeah.
They literally gave so first of all, they injected sugar into me. I was lying down, I was passed out, I was gone. And they checked my sugar level. It was 0.2. Now, if you hit 0, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be telling you that.
When you hit 0, you are dead. So I was very close. And that's literally just because of that blood test. So yeah, no, they injected sugar into me, and when I came to, they gave me this drink that was just it was just pure white
sugar. Yeah.
It was apparently just liquid sugar. Can I just say that stuff tastes amazing?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That is heavenly. You're not meant to have it. It's not meant to be like a drink that you drink at home, right? You're just meant to take a small cup of it. But I felt better and I was okay. But that was a scare. That was a huge scare. I was this close. I was this close. 0.2 is way too close.
That point too.
So what is it with medical professionals? Just low key trying to.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish I could tell you.
I would say you explaining with your reaction. I was like, is this Ram reacting to blood being taken out, or is this Switchy just being drunk during stream, not being able to talk, one-word sentences, incoherent? I don't want to talk about that stream. That stream was awful.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to bring that up, Switchy.
I don't. I really don't.
We'll move on.
Switchy has no stories. I don't. That's why I brought these guys on. I know both of them have stories to tell.
Talk about a raid attempt though. Before having trouble with the raid, Switchy, your raid.
I actually was thinking about that too when Sweetest was talking about struggling with how it took a few times to get the raid to go through. I was so drunk that one time. I was just trying to raid Ram because he just went live and
raid Ramses.
Right, I spelled his name wrong 4 times. It was so sad. Oh,
Arnie in the chat Switchy, you need to for a good little while. He's you need to just go to bed, man. Just stop.
No, Arnie's no, I don't want you to go, and I'm like, that's too bad. I'm gonna die in this chair on stream. I was so. The sad part about it was I got so drunk and I think it only just hit midnight by that point. It wasn't even late. It was.
You were on for a while though. It was 6 hours or something, wasn't it?
I mean, that's normal for Switchy streams though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's normal?
I feel
the drinking part or the long part?
The drinking, you had that. Was it?
Dude, I still have it.
Did
you remember how we reviewed the clip? We reviewed the clip and saw how long that little chug was.
Yeah, Sweetest. It was I was all right, I'll take a shot.
I meant to take like that as a shot. All right, not like
It was like no, it was like I'm gonna take a shot, and then it was like
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
legit.
it was like
went,
6 shots worth, and yeah, within 10 minutes I was
Mm-mm.
gone.
Yeah, out of here.
It was like half the bottle. Pardon?
Have you had like a near-death experience or anything like really like you've come close that could have done that? Like,
No, not
I
really.
mean,
I've been
you're
pretty
rare.
fortunate.
Like, younger than us, so we've got like a few. What is it? 7 years on you and 5 years on Ram, I think.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
we-
mean, from a young age, like I've said, for the whole War Amps program, like because I've gone there from when I was younger. I mean, I started going when I was like 2 or whatever. Their big thing is like, play safe, be like safe with whatever you do. So I've just always been very cautious about literal like anything I do. So I haven't had, any doctor things that were like
Gotcha.
that. I mean, I've just had a few doctors things that were like, what the heck, like they could be in fault, but there's like little things where it's like for example, I got one time I was doing road work for a bit, like guiding traffic and stuff, and I got like dirt or like a rock or something in my eye, and I remember going in the mirror and being able to see it. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to try and get it out. Tried washing it, eye wash station, everything, couldn't get it out. So I went to the doctor, and then I'm like, all right, you need to try and get this out or whatever. My mom literally could see it like seconds before, and I could see it. And the doctor, like looking at it for like 5 minutes, he's like, yeah, I don't see anything.
just fell out.
I'm like, bullshit, I still feel it. And then I literally would like he was like looking around, couldn't see it for a while, and then I literally pulled up my eye, and I'm like, okay, I can literally see it. I'm like, it's right there. Do you see it? And he's like, oh, I see it now. I'm like, come on.
How are these guys professionals? Like, what's going
It's like, come on. And then finally, and then he just Q-tip. He's like, look the other way, and then Q-tip swiped it. And he's like, oh, there, that's it. I see it now. And I'm like, okay, thank you. Like,
Thanks, bro.
jeez,
Thanks.
like it was brutal. Like,
Switchy of rock as well with me. I've got hang on. I've got like this scar that's here. I was like playing hoops with my friend in like year 6 or year 7, and we had like the concrete, like really just shitty core, and it was like heaps of loose gravel and like decent chunk rocks. And I remember I was a really skinny kid, and there was this big guy Adnan, and he just right into me, and I went into the ground, and I had this rock just lodged really far in there. I had to go into the nurse, and they're like, we're not touching that. We're not pulling that thing out. Like, we're going to call your mum and she can come do that. And like, I just remember watching this rock get pulled out. I'm just like, oh, and there was a second one up inside there too somehow. And
man.
yeah, let's not talk about rocks.
I was just about to say,
I wanted to get on that topic. How is that?
Before I continue off a different subject, the whole near-death experience thing. I will say mine. It's very short, very sweet, and just not the sweetest heaters type sweet though. That was whoa. But yeah, I mean, I used to go out with friends to the train yards. Like multiple trains just lined up. So there's a lot of tracks, and we go dead at night. So security and cops don't see you, and you just naughty ZB. When I was younger, I was a very naughty kid when I was younger. I mean, I'm complete polar opposite these days. Completely. When you say you're safe, Switchy, with things, like I was so not safe when I was younger, and now these days I'm overly cautious.
Yeah,
So
I mean, the amount of things, like one thing with like as much as like it shouldn't be addressed or whatever, but like with the whole like play safe thing, like train tracks was a huge thing because I've met a few people, like one of the head people that run it, the person I actually communicated to after the whole donation thing, I think he lost his leg due to like playing on train tracks and stuff like that. And
that was me every day, bro.
Yeah.
I'll be playing on train tracks and running with the bags and canes down my pants and Ram.
No, don't worry. I'm still here. I'm just doing something. I'm still here. It's very important. Hold on. I got you. There you
So
go.
on that note of I would head down to this train station, and then you just hop down on the tracks and then you just run it up through the tunnels, and it was really late. Like, so I don't know, like hard to explain, but when the freight trains would come, they'd have the big white light on the front, and you can't tell how close that thing is, especially when there's like little lights in the distance. And I got all these different people and I'm splitting up. I'm doing up this train and I'm getting like this big piece happening. I'm like, yeah, pull my phone out, have a quick look so no one can see from distance. And like, my friends were sort of nearby, and we were just sort of meeting up again, and we could hear this noise. Like, I mean, you just instantly think train, but we were so focused on listening out for security or anything else. And I looked to the side of me. Oh yeah, it's just a light, not realizing that this light was the front of the train, of this freight train, coming straight at me. And I'm stepping back, and I'm like, I'll snap a quick photo. And I'm not kidding, this freight train was, I couldn't tell you how many meters because it was so dark, but I swear to God, I stepped forward because I thought it's pretty close. Probably maybe a second or two later, boom, and I'm like, I would have been gone. I would have been gone, 100% gone. So, I mean, after that, I was a bit like, I think I should be maybe a little bit more cautious, you know? And then obviously, we're out of there. But, another little funny thing on that is, one of these guys who wanted to come along with us one night, he was a bit of a bigger guy, bit clumsy, and we're like jumping this fence to this random part of the train line. Wasn't like any trains, but it was just for fences and stuff. And we're jumping over and climbing this fence, and it was barbed wire. And I was pretty good at climbing barbed wire, you know, get your feet in between the barbed wire and climb over and stuff. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. So me and my two friends, we get over. My other friend, he's climbing over, had a bit of trouble. We do our thing, and then we notice that there's like a security or cops coming, and I'm just like, oh shit, we got a boot. So we're trying to get back over. Me and my friend, we're straight over. My other friend, he like climbs over, his pants get caught, and he literally falls. It was like, I can't explain too well, but just, and he's hanging off of his pants by like the top of his leg, and he's just hanging off of this barbed wire. And I'm like, let's go. And he's like, I can't. He's trying to lift himself up. We're just trying to lift him together to help him so we can try and do his, and we're just almost like, gonna leave this man hanging? Like, what do we do? Great, man, we're out of here.
Yeah, that's dope.
But yeah, and if you want to know about the rock throwers, it's almost 6 o'clock. I'm expecting some boulders to hit the roof shortly.
Is it rock time?
Rock time.
Rock o'clock? No.
Rock clock.
Though, 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks, I think now. Me and Emily just sitting here, and then we got a tin roof, and it's just like, bang, and we're like, holy shit! Like, they ain't little stones. They're like size of my fist. Some of them are bigger than two of my fists. Like, they ain't using some kind of slingshot.
Do you have one nearby that Emily could just like bring? Does Emily have one that she could just?
Some of those rocks. These are just some of the ones that are in my backyard.
Emily on podcast, hog.
She's in a hoodie, all in the comfort zone.
Where is she,
like,
bruh?
Get an Emily hand, just
Bring
like
in she, bruh.
No.
He's out getting some rock.
No. She's like, "You good, fam? That's it. I'll get someone a sec." But yeah, my neighbors each side of me, they've been on the news countless times. Like my actual street is like literally famous. I call up the police helpline like as soon as I hear it because they told me just ring straight away. I've had cops at my door every day. Yesterday, twice. Like just saying, "Hey, we're still here. We got a police helicopter 20,000 feet tonight. We're keeping an eye out." We've had police drones. In the 4 weeks, we've had maybe a few nights where there's no police choppers and there's cops hiding with no lights, just in the bushes, in the parklands in front, just trying to find someone. And I'm telling them, it's the street down the end. I'm very sure because I've gone out the back and I've looked where my fence is damaged, and you can see like the dents. And there's this side of the fence has no dents except on the inside of the fence. So I'm like, all right, well then the trajectory means that it definitely can't come from this way. There's a gap between where the fence would be that it wouldn't be able to reach. There's no rocks here. This side of my house gets hit. Yada yada. So yeah, I'm sure it's someone in their backyard with a big PVC pipe and some kind of custom thing, and they're just launching it because they're massive.
I do want to say, I'm not gonna say too much, but I remember you sent me the news article, and I saw the video that they had, but there was a part where they saw footage of a guy on a bike that waltzed up to a house, threw something at the house, and then rolled away. So is that not the same? Could be. Multiple people.
In this direction. But then there's been a couple of times because like there's a park in front of me with like it raises up with a bunch of bushes and it's just like a wetlands. So we've had some rocks come from that direction, but majority are coming from this one direction. They're doing it in their backyard in the night. Me and the neighbors been walking around like, if we find them first.
Gotta put hands on them.
I know. It's kind of ridiculous that they haven't been spotted yet. Like,
I know,
weeks, man.
It's ridiculous.
It's been like, I'm talking like 30, 40 rocks some nights, and like it's like they've got like a pathway and like a pickaxe, and they're like breaking it up like, all right, here's tonight's rocks, baby, and they're just getting chunks of concrete and just like boom, and you can actually hear it whizzing like, and it's like my neighbor
Bro,
next door.
they got that Minecraft gravel cannon going on, with that TNT. Just...
Jesus, man.
But yeah, my neighbor got hit in the head, so she was on the news. She went out the front of her house, and they did it from the park. But the police are literally, they're here right now. Like, they're in the street every night. Like, I call up and go to say what's happening. As soon as I say my address, well, I say what street, they're like, yeah, we know about it. So what happened tonight? I'm like, oh. Yeah, they're like, you're kind of famous right now. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Okay.
Man, that's crazy.
You would think that the media attention would sort of stop them or make them want to do it less because they don't want to get caught by the media, but nothing.
More 3 times on the news, it might make them go, hey, we made the news. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
My neighbor left of me, she's the main perpetrator of causing them to do it. I am very sure. She goes out there. She's a goddamn banshee. She's like, do it again. I'll kill you. She's just losing it. And they're probably sitting in the back just laughing their ass off.
Trolling.
Kids at the end of the day.
Probably give up. But because they're hearing her in the distance lose her shit, they're probably just like, keep going. And as soon as she starts screaming, more come, like more often. And I'm like, hold it. You're making this worse. Shut the fuck up. Like, she's like, I don't care. And all the neighbors are just like, they're hearing her as well as the rocks. And it's making it awesome.
Man.
That's
great.
But yeah, that's my rock story so far. It's
So didn't you say someone got smacked as well?
Yeah, my next door neighbor, like in the head, top of her head, all along here. Luckily, it wasn't the big chunk one. It was from across the park, and it was like decent size still. But she's like, she's on the news. I could have been killed, really. Put it in the hospital. She's very lucky.
Banger said, "Rock on."
That joke was solid. Solid.
Do we have another topic that we want to swing into to make some more wholesome stuff instead of life-ending stuff?
One thing I really genuinely wanted to hear, like on my bucket list of today, especially because we have Sweetest and Zebra, and I also haven't heard your story either, Switchy. I genuinely want to know what sort of like made you start streaming and how did it all begin? I mean, I'll very subtly talk about mine, but I don't want to take all the thunder because we got a special guest tonight. But like, for example, with me, I only started streaming really because back in 2019ish, I was pretty lonely. I didn't have a lot of friends, and I got bullied pretty hard for a rumor that had started up. People started talking about a rumor, and it had already spread like crazy to everyone I knew before I had realized. So whatever word or whatever thing I would try to say, they would just not believe me. And it was just like, oh, well, everyone else says this. We've heard many people say that. So no matter what I said, people just wouldn't believe me. And I lost a lot of friends. Pardon?
I was just saying that once you have rumors happening, it's like you can't do much
Once
about
it that far, and I didn't have much friends, and I was literally just trying to play games to keep my mind busy. It wasn't working. I was just too sad. I was too depressed, and I genuinely had like a really dark like depression phase. And I have 2 people to thank. One of them is Ash, and the other one most people know is Polska Penguin, who's my very first follower. They're my actual like best friends in real life that we went to high school together. But he told me, dude, we're playing games. Just you know what? Go do something. Go try Twitch. Just go. Do a Twitch stream. That's all they said. They said do a couple of Twitch streams this week just for fun. And I started, and it helped. It helped a lot. And I very slowly started meeting people. One guy in particular called Flaps, who helped me grow, and was super wholesome. And I started growing, and I started loving it. And then I decided to make my Twitch have a life goal, or like my Twitch goal was to spread positivity, wholesomeness, and try and just be this nice guy as much as possible, because I know what it's like to be, treated unfairly, to be treated badly. And I'm like, I don't want people to feel that way. I want people to come in and say, hey, there's good in this world. There are good people in this world. You can have a good time. You can be wholesome. And I sort of made that hatred towards me channel what I do for Twitch and why I do Twitch. And it's been such a journey. Twitch changed my life, man. Twitch really changed my life. So that's basically my story. It all really started from being bullied really hard to channeling it into something good. And I'm happy. I'm super happy with where I am now.
That's good.
That's my story.
Anyone can say that there's someone wholesome as fuck on Twitch, it's Ram.
This guy below me, man. This guy below me.
I was gonna say I think both the two over here are very good.
You guys are awesome, man.
I'm toxic. Dino knows that. Dino knows it.
I'm on and off, so who knows? You get wholesome me 1 second, and you get what the heck happened me the next.
In that logic, I'm just chilling, bro.
For me, I mean, there's no big story behind mine. Mine was just mainly out of spite too. I just played games a lot, and I used the program Plays.tv a lot to record clips and stuff like that. But Plays.tv shut down, and I was pretty salty about it because it was a free program, and it shut down. I would have paid like a subscription for it because I fucking love Plays.tv so much, but it shut down. They have one now that's called like Metal. Does essentially the same thing, but it was very buggy to start with and was not vibing with it. So I'm like, why don't I just stream on Twitch? I can just get my past broadcasts and get clips from there, and I can also get my voice, and if I want to add a video, I'll do that. So around September-ish, I just started, and I was like, okay, I'm playing games anyways, might as well stream. And I've met some amazing people. I mean, playing Rocket League, I ran into Arnie, and he came into my stream, and I was just talking about how cracked at the game he was. So eventually meeting him, he came in, because he was lurking in my stream, he heard me talking about him, so then he was like, hey, talked, and so I met him, and then he was my first sub that wasn't someone I already knew before coming to Twitch. So, and then he introduced me to Brian the Great, who he met, I think Ram, you met Brian the Great around the same time, so that's how Arnie knew who you were, because he knew you through Brian the Great, so I met you through Arnie, technically, so and that's how we're all formed together.
It's literally a huge community now.
Full
like,
circle.
Oh, I know that person. Oh, I know that person.
Yeah, it's full circle. I feel like even now, I'm just like, I've heard that name, like, and then I finally meet them, and then, holy crap, like, I get really close to them. Like, it still happens now, even though I feel like I should know everyone by this point, but it just gets bigger and bigger. But,
it's hard to keep up with, though. Once you get, like, a number of people, like Ram said, you don't want to do shout-outs, because you're going to forget at least one or two people. So it just becomes so big, though, that, it's just, and, like, I try to be in the streams as much as I can for different people, but sometimes you got 3 at once, and you can't.
Bro, I got like 8 different tabs open sometimes of just people that I want to watch, I
don't like working, but I've been doing it more now, because I like to just say I'm there or I'm not there. But yeah, but Sweetest, tell us, man, what made you like
this? This I want to hear.
So I was doing a lot of stuff with MMA, with the personal training, as well as being a medic in the Army. I was also I'm a self-defense instructor, right? So basically, the way to give you a quick like level of how it works in the military. So there's it's called combatives, which is basically just hand-to-hand combat, so self-defense. So it goes level 1, level 2, level 3, and then master trainer. So I had reached master trainer.
and with the swing 8, yo.
So basically doing all of this stuff, and then I was always into like I was never the biggest like I want to be a public speaker, but I always liked connecting with people, no matter who they were or whatever. Like if like I'm the type of person, if I care, I care. You know what I mean? Like when I care about something, I really care about it. So I was always invested in like, I'm just gonna care for people and so on and so forth. So when I got ready to led up to me wanting to stream was I would play video games, a lot in my spare time. I would play 2K, I'd play first person shooters, I played COD, I played, now it's a lot of Apex now. But I was playing a lot of stuff, and my wife was like, "Why don't you like find a way to be creative with since you play video games so much?" And she would sit on the couch next to me when we were in our old place. She would sit on the couch next to me, watch me play video games, and just laugh because I would just be talking trash the whole time and just like and having fun though. So she was like, "Yo, you should try to do something with it." But I didn't know, anything about anything. I was always, I was like, "Oh, this is just, this just takes the stress off my day." So all I want to do is, I want to fight and I want to, play video games and stuff to chill out. So, but a friend of mine, he had said, "Hey man, you should try Twitch." So I was like, "What is that?" And he was like, it's a streaming platform. You should try it. Like, get on and see how you like it. So when I first got on or I went to Twitch, I had no idea like what it entailed at all, right? I was just like, "Yo, what is this?" Like, people are just playing video games and like interacting with different chats, and I was all over the place like, "Yo, this is crazy." Like, it's like I walked into a city I never knew about. And the coming up with the name for what I wanted to do, I was like, I have no idea what what would I even call myself? Like, I have no idea what to do. And my buddy was like, "Why don't you just use like your fight name?" And I was like, maybe. I might think about it. He was like, "Yeah, just use your fight name." He's like, "And if you think of something else later, you can change it." So I was like, "All right, cool." So of course my ring name, I guess it'd be for fighting, is Sweet Heat, which actually came from my old coach and my wife together. They conspired against me and made my name.
She's like, your wife, like, he's sweet. And Trina's like, he brings the heat. You just
Yeah.
like,
that's
like,
they literally did
Nice.
that like while I was in practice, and I got done practice and he was just like, "Your name's Sweet Heat." I was like, "What?" So and it was crazy. I even tried to get I wanted to get a sponsorship from Skittles, because I found out
That would be great.
yeah,
That would be sick.
I might try it again in the future to see what they say, but we'll see. But
Brady's here in chat asking. He wants to know what your record is for
so
fighting.
so my amateur record was 5-0. Unfortunately, my professional record, I'm 0-2 right now. My first loss was DQ due to
that was shit, though.
You broke the man's nose. You destroyed him.
Due to a split second knee. But yeah. So,
1-1.
but what I want to do is COVID kind of screwed a lot of things up, especially because right after I went pro, like COVID,
Yeah.
COVID kicked off. So it's like, and it's so hard it's already hard to find fights because so many people, they want to pick and choose, opponents because people they want to pad the stats. That's basically what they want to do. They want to go, you'll have like guys they've had 9-10 fights and they're like, I want to fight a guy who's only had one. So it's hard to find good fights, and then people try to find ways to not to give themselves the advantage. So like you'll have some guy, he'll train 4 months for a fight, and then his promotion or the promotion that supports him, they'll let you know about the fight like 2 weeks out, and they'll be like, "Oh, can you fight this guy on 2 weeks notice?"
Is it also so like, do they look at the matchups as well and say, like, your height is way different or your reach?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, most of the guys I fought are tall. They've been taller than me, which doesn't bother me at all. I actually prefer fighting.
I saw that clip that you showed us on stream, bro. You fast. You are fast.
Yeah, you even like, whoo, shit.
I like fighting people taller than me because they have more trouble with me. So it's the guys that are like my height. Those are the ones that are like, I'm like, I have to watch out for a few more things. But the guys that are like taller, I like fighting.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Would you ever have your wife use like a phone and stream on your Twitch when you do have the fights? Because
yeah,
we would all be there for that. Like,
yeah, I think that'd be awesome. Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. And that I want to get into that some more. But back to the question. So, the reason I got into it or how I got into it was because after all of that, coming up with the name, and everything, and he said you should stream on Twitch. The first time I got everything together, so I got my PC, brought my first PC, which is the one I still have now, bought the webcam, bought all the stuff to get started, and then when I turned on the camera, I was like, I have no idea what the hell to do. And of course, my wife was like, just be yourself and play.
Every now and again. Hey, how you going?
Question: speaking of camera and stuff, can you show off that new one you got?
Oh yeah, so
Oh.
just got this, my little.
This is gonna be
Oh, hell yeah.
insane.
Well, you gonna be looking fly, man.
It's a sexy little thing. So I can't wait to get turned
Your
on.
capture card to sort of capture the camera.
Hold on, what'd you say?
How are you capturing the camera for OBS? Are you gonna use it for?
So HDMI link.
Oh, that's awesome. So does it just come with one?
Yeah. So it has. Let me see if I can show you.
Right, it's like super technical, nerdy stuff. But like,
So
I'm curious in case I ever want to upgrade this piece of garbage.
Closer.
Yeah.
But on this side, it has the USB and then it has the HDMI link. So I can use both of those.
That's awesome.
Yep. So I'll have both of those plugged in, and that's what I'll be using for.
Yeah,
in the future.
I'd love to get a camera like that one day because my webcam is awful, as you can see.
So I got lucky. This camera was originally, I think it was listed at like 650, 680, something like that, and I got it for like just under 300. On a very, I thought it was going to be like a very sketchy sale. Sale, but it actually turned out to be good. Weight division 125 pounds. Yeah, so I usually I walk around to like 140, 141, and then I cut weight down to 125.
How are you feeling after the 500? I am curious. After 500 push-ups,
so oddly enough,
right now, like you did last night, just popping and
yeah, I probably could actually. Like I feel really good. Like it's a little tight, huh?
Let's go. Come on, let's show off. You gotta show it off.
Oh, let's go, Army man. Let's go.
Turn
Can we get some hype in chat?
Can we some pause in chat?
Said one hand. The switch ups.
The switch ups. Show the switch ups.
Switchy asked for switch ups. I told him every time.
Is that like when doing it with one hand?
Yep.
Yeah. So I told Switchy every time. I said every time he requests switch ups, that I would do switch ups for him because he was like, I don't know if I could do push ups. I was like, just for you every time. Every time you request it, I'll do it.
But what tripped me out was you were doing your 500 last night. So you're like, all right, 490, we're doing 500, and you're still and clapping. I'm like, God damn, I can't even do that with just my first 10. I had to put him on the spot for this one. I was like, he must be in pain though.
I just said the one handed.
Oh, he's doing the one hand.
Yeah, there's the switch
Look at
ups.
this, man.
Do I want to spar Brady? No.
Oh, the big finish when he got up to like.
Yeah, he had that spider landing too.
He actually is Spider-Man. Zebra, what about yourself? Or did you still have more to add on, Sweetest, about your?
Oh yeah, but no, I got started and oh man, I'm really dark. But yeah, I got started and that first year was rough, man. Like I didn't really have a schedule. I was just kind of getting on whenever I could. I was having a bunch of negative experiences, and I did meet one of the guys that I play with now. I did meet him playing Apex. I met him while I was streaming. It's funny enough, like we were in a game, queued up playing with randoms, and we ended up in this crazy scenario on the map where it was like everybody just knew where we were and they just kept running to us. And somehow, like, God mode was enabled and I was beaming people, taking people out left and right, having fun, just in the zone. We ended up not winning. I think I killed like 6 people or something, and trying to revive him, downing people, going back and forth and doing stuff. And then I was like, I wasn't talking to him in game chat or nothing. I was just like, I was streaming. So I had my game chat mic off, but I was like talking to the stream and stuff. And shortly after he came into my chat, And he was like, I figured you had to be a streamer because there's no way somebody would be playing that good. And I was like, I suck. We lost. I was like, a real streamer would have won. And so after that, we started playing together, and we actually became friends off of that. So yeah, it was pretty awesome.
It is hard starting off, though. I mean, I know a couple of people who just like, oh, I'm gonna stream, and they're there with just zero for ages. You know, you just got to sort of get lucky or know
It's hard
people
to
who will
say.
come and lurk for you, or it's rough. So it's definitely
I
not
always
easy.
just say, like, if you're starting out, just ask a couple of mates. They'll help out. Like, people you
Yeah.
could trust. Just be like, yo, man, can you just, like, leave a tab open even? You don't even have
Yeah.
to. Or just help me
not
get
have you on the
started.
bottom of the page so that
Friends
you're
and
not at
family.
50 zero viewer things and you're somewhere up there near the relative top. you
I
know?
mean, whenever I look for someone for a raid, I look for someone with at least 2 viewers and a webcam, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, the RAM rules.
Or, you know, great suggestions like, you know, that guy.
Wait, it's opposite on my camera now.
Yeah, it's always the opposite.
You guys, you guys changed
You
a
know
lot.
what's funny? I love this camera angle because I could just be like, pet.
Okay.
We can do the Titanic thing, Zebra.
Uh,
Hold me. There we go. Sorry, Spotify listeners. Once again,
yeah, Spotify listeners have no
we
idea
do
what's going on.
a lot of visual stuff again.
We're just doing some camera angle tricks.
Sorry, Zebra. What were you
Yeah,
saying?
Yes, go for it.
I don't even remember how I installed it on my phone, but I'd never really used Twitch. I'd heard of it plenty of times, but I just don't know. I just, watched a lot of YouTube, and then I was just kind of like, I'll jump on. So I just sort of was scrolling around, and I'm like, I don't know. And then I stopped, and I'm like, wait a minute. My cat is called Ramses. This man's called Ramses. Okay, I'll click on this one. And I was welcomed like you wouldn't believe. I'm like, oh, okay. And there's all these people like, yeah, welcome. What's going on, mate? And I was just like, this is cool. Like at the time, I sort of stopped talking to two of my closest friends. They just did me over too much. And they say you surround yourself with people that you want to be like, and the way their lives were going, I didn't want to be like them. And I mean, you don't always just necessarily choose friends like that, but they were dogging me a lot. They weren't being very good friends, and I was just like, you know what? Who says I have to be friends with them just because I've known them for so long? There's nothing to hold on there. So I just sort of went, nah. And then coming into streams a bit more, spending a bit more time, and then Ram said to me, like, maybe you should do some stream or something. I'm like, I mean, yeah. And this is, I think, December last year. I sort of thought I might try and do it. So I had my laptop, well, my fiance's laptop, this little university laptop, and I'm just like sitting on there trying to watch basketball live highlights with friends. It's like, yeah, I had my boy Kyle and Mint always watching the basketball with me, and I was like, yeah, this is sick. To this day, I would be happy with just 2-3 viewers watching the basketball. Like just having that connection with people and just having that chill session. And I just thought, this is a good way to network and make friends and just be able to chat with people. And it kind of got a bit more apparent when I started spending a lot more time as well, because I was like, I kind of replaced one addiction for another. I sort of was having addiction problems myself. And I will give credit to, I haven't forgotten who, Ram, Dino, and Bam. Those three, I would jump in, and I remember talking to Bam specifically about it, and I was having trouble, and he's like, you know what, man, like, he was just giving me so much advice, just, like think about what you want, where you're gonna be, and then like being able to not just sit and watch a YouTube video, you're fidgety, you can't just watch something. So being in there where you can chat to someone in the chat while watching and conversing and just constantly interacting, it kept me busy. And I ended up getting kind of addicted to it because I'd spend so much time. I'm like, oh, I'm going to bed at like 4 in the morning now.
It's addictive, man.
It's a Twitch thing anyway. But I mean, yeah. And funny story, my original name for Twitch was going to be Drop Bear Jesus because I'm Australian, but then I was like, Drop Bear Jesus. I don't know about that. So Zbruh4T, because if people in chat don't know, but my name is Zach and Zbruh. So
I like
Clever name.
yeah. And then some people don't catch on for. I've had people go, "Oh, I get it," Zebra, like a zebra.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like people won't always catch on. Like if people will end up like for those who do know my name, they understand what my username means now. If you know my name, I don't want to dox myself too much though.
Okay.
But yeah, but like some people get it, some people don't.
I was doxing me right now.
I was just gonna say though, Zebra, that's crazy. Like, what are the odds that your damn cat is the reason why you've met all of us?
I would not
Like,
be here
it's just
without my cat.
his cat's name was Ramesses. He just so happened to click on my stream.
Yeah,
That's
I
crazy.
told him to stream, and now he's streaming. And like, what other? And the fact that I live in New Zealand and you live in Australia, like, I could have lived super far away. Like, the odds of finding a New Zealand streamer on Twitch is so little. Like,
True.
it's crazy how lucky this is.
In the category, I literally just was like, it was like the randomized section. I just went, oh, come back. What?
I don't even know, man. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Crazy. Coincidences are just sometimes it's like, is it a coincidence or is it fate? Who knows?
Sus.
Yeah, I know, right?
Must be.
That's
Switching
how-
Everybody's giggling in the background. It's fate.
What was that, Ram?
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check it for myself. Yeah, you do.
What are you
Okay, let's
checking?
check see if you have the
Ask
email.
you guys, all you guys,
Which email?
because this is
Oh, I
talking
put
about.
it in the wrong chat. Oh, quit! I have
Really?
2 streams open.
Whose chat
my
did you put
brother-
it in?
I have my brother's stream open. I just put Switchy sus for no reason. That's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't
What
worry
up,
about it.
Sheldon?
Yeah.
Big raid.
I wanted
Welcome.
to ask you guys because Sweetest was talking about fights and stuff. Have you guys had like a full-on punch-up kind of like proper fight, or a bit of a, slappy at school, or like back in the day, or someone touch your chicken nuggies and you just,
Oh,
no one
I
touches my
took it
chicken
the
nuggies.
wrong
That's what I'm
I took it the wrong way.
Oh,
I was just like, what?
dipping them in sauce.
No,
Alright.
for me personally, no.
No?
I'm a lover, not a fighter, and I don't like, even if I'm starting to think of it now, like if I were to have changed my mindset sooner on, I probably would have, because I mean, there's been a few close times in like my final year of like senior year of like playing soccer. There's been a few times where I just wanted to punch somebody, but like other than that, no, not really. Like, it's only become that final year where I actually was getting like frustrated while playing soccer and being like, I actually do want to punch someone. Like it's
I'll take that red card at this point.
I mean, look, I used to play striker in soccer as well, and because I'm so short, every time there was that one massive defender that I can't beat, dude, I got mad. I was like, I'm kicking this guy in the shins. Like, I can't get past this guy. He's just a wall. I can't beat him. Obviously, it had no effect because I'm again tiny. Kicking the guy in the shins does nothing. He's just gonna be like, "What? What do you want?" No, I'm not gonna be able to. But
and I mean,
yeah.
the thing for me is like nobody's gonna try and fight me too. I'm a kid that has one arm. No one's gonna try and like pick a fight with
Yeah.
some disabled guy. Like it's not gonna happen.
Oh, boy, let's go.
I mean,
ran more
no.
than 5'7".
I was pretty quiet when it came to high school, so I kind of, hid in the shadows more. But I mean, I just had my friend group that I just hung around mainly and just stayed around computers mainly and soccer. And other than that, yeah, no, I didn't have any like, I don't know. Our place, since it is very small, there was no like, big bullies or anything where we were. Everyone was just pretty casual and it was boring, honestly. So,
It's Canada, guys. Come on.
no, it's not Canada. It's just where I am, small place.
I mean, I guess you'd call where I live. If anyone knows my areas, they'd say that's the hood. I mean, literally.
Yeah, man, that place rocks.
Not again.
Emily's in the background laughing right now.
What
I
up?
have
So Ram, no
Yeah.
fights for Ram.
No fights for Ram, no.
Nah, I feel like if I was to fight, I'd just get like, I'm like the guy who just gets salty but doesn't fight. I'd be like, Ram Angie, and that's it. Like, I'm just like, I'm
Nice.
upset. I don't like it, but I never like fought. I'll just get annoyed. But yeah, nah, I tend to avoid fights.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, hey, these days I do too. I mean, unless it's for a reasonable reason, then I won't back down. But other than that, like I do avoid conflict these days compared to my younger self. I avoid it at a lot of all costs, really. I mean, I hate conflict these days. I've complete pole swapped. So when I was younger, though, I was
On the other hand, though, no, I don't know if
what?
you're in here,
I look for conflict. Let's go.
Just messing. I'm messing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like even though like I'm very, I stay away from conflict, as much as possible. I would much rather, um, I'd much rather talk a lot of things down. You know, especially with like it's not in a sport environment. Like and even in sports, even with my opponents that I go against, I never trash talk them. I never down. I never do anything like that. I'm always very respectful to them, mainly because I know the struggle and what it takes to even. I know the type of person it takes to even step in a cage and to have them lock the door behind you, and now you're going to fight. So I know, yeah. So I know the mental fortitude it takes for another person to do it. So I never disrespect somebody, or not even before you even get to the fight. The cutting weight and the training, and like there was a day. Oh man, there was a day when I think before one of my last fights, I had the only thing I had to eat for in like a 24-hour period was an apple. Like,
hey, an apple a day though.
Was that just on purpose? Like,
I had to. So we had to drive 3 hours to get to the event.
Yeah.
So I couldn't eat anything because once you make weight, and you try to make weight as close as you can to the fight, but like once you make weight and you get to the event, you don't want to get to the event and not be on weight, because some places like they take too long for the weigh-ins, or they're behind the weigh-ins and stuff. And if you miss weight, some people don't give you a second chance to weigh in. So they'll they'll fine you and take money from your purse, and they'll give it to your opponent. Yeah, so like shit like that can happen. So like for the most part, you want to make sure you're on weight. So me being as disciplined as I possibly can, I was like, okay, so I can eat this apple, I'll drink water, I won't eat anything, and I'll just sleep as much as I can. And when we get down to the fight, we got down to the weigh-ins or whatever, you're basically just sitting there because you have to sit through a rules brief and everything. So you're sitting there like starving, just waiting for them to get done talking so you can go step on the scale. And yeah, it was man, it was like cutting weight and all of that. So when all that happens for another person to be able to go through the same stuff and then they get in the cage with you, it's like I'll have nothing but respect for this person. Like I'm still gonna.
I saw the YouTube video that you showed on stream, and when you walked out, bro, you just focus. It was nothing but focus. It wasn't like you were like pointing at him, trying to like get on his nerves or like go up all cocky. No, you were just pure focus, and like I could see that about you. It was, yeah, I can really see it. You got that respect for the opponent.
I love the look that he gave after the dude's like been knocked out basically on the floor. You see Squid's like,
yeah, you were low-key like, yeah, I got him.
yeah. That man's gonna kill somebody right now.
Yeah.
I need 2 seconds. I need to run to the toilet.
Yes. I was gonna say we probably may need to start wrapping up soon.
Yeah.
We are hitting the 2-hour mark. Yeah.
We did start a bit late, so we are getting close though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a lot of fun having two people that really needed to be on this, I feel. It was good.
True. I feel like I wasn't talking much, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed just sitting back and listening.
Like, not gonna lie, you
it's
and
a
I
lot of pressure
like,
off for us. Yeah, we're just listen mode. They took the show.
Like, you guys
these guys are the special guests, you know.
Yeah. You guys have been very awesome, man. Like you guys have been blowing me away with just how much like support and like how hard you guys work as well, and still able to like be involved in so many different people's streams and their communities and influencing the community in itself. Like, man, it's a huge inspiration. I'm so happy that I've even been able to meet you guys and been brought into this, because it's actually something amazing. Like, it really is. Oh man, from that one day, man, that one raid, that one faithful raid, man, like
We're all
that-
lucky to have each other. That's for sure.
man, so
In 2 hours.
That's what we were saying. It's almost been 2 hours. Yeah.
I would not. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even know if y'all wouldn't have said nothing. I would not have.
I could go for
Yeah,
more,
I mean,
but
I also just feel bad. Switchy, it's getting late for you, man, isn't it?
I mean, it's
And-
even later
and
for
Sweetest.
Sweetest. It's 4 in the
Yeah, it's
morning
later.
for him.
Yeah, you guys are crazy.
It's-
I got so much more I could continue to go on and on and on about. And I got some other cool stuff I could have mentioned too, but like,
Let's
Yeah.
end off. I want to end off on because I know it's going to be a shorter topic. Zebra, you've put it in the topics chat. First car. I just want to know everyone's first car. We'll just end off on this little short
Yeah.
topic and go down.
I guess
And I'm going to start off quickly because I'm going to be the fastest. My first car was the Octane. I drive my mum's car. I don't have a
Okay.
car.
Okay.
That's-
Okay. White Fennec.
White Fennec.
So what is
You
your,
know?
what is the first car you drove then, Ram?
Okay. I don't want people to Google this, but sure. If you want to know the car, I still drive the first car that I drove right now. It's my mom's car. It is a very girly car. Like I drive. You will see me in the girliest car out there. Go look up Suchi. Maybe I don't know if you can pull it up, but if you look up a red Nissan March, oh boy, that thing is curvy. That is curvy and girly as heck.
like this.
Oh, no, you will see it. It's like a tiny little. It's like the gizmo in Rocket League. You know, it's like you'll see it. You'll see it. Oh,
Don't know. I'm just trying to think. How do I put this on the screen?
I'm also just gonna charge my phone.
You got a car too, Switchy. What's your car, man?
Charge my phone.
My
Your
first
first car.
my first car was a well, I had a car before I could drive. I never even got to drive it, so I don't really count it as my first car, but technically it was mine. It was I don't even remember what year. It was a BMW. I think it was an 80, it was an 85. I don't know much about the car cuz I didn't drive it, but then my first car that I actually drove and stuff was a also a BMW. It was a 95 525i, so a 5 Series BMW, and I love it.
Yeah.
It was great.
Nice.
My dad, since he works at BMW dealerships, he was very into BMWs, so I drove that car, and then after that I got his old car and upgraded it, which was it was either an 03 or 05, or sorry, 03 or 04 BMW as well. So, and then recently, because they're expensive, so I mean, as you know, but I've just recently picked up just a simple Mazda 3, just a.
You've gone backwards to a Mazda. Now Mazda 3 is a
I
nice
was gonna say, just for context for everyone in chat as well, and for me, because I don't know too much about cars. Maybe also just put a link to a Google image of the car, so that people know as well. So I put a link to my one. And no, chat, that is not my plate number. Relax. people gonna be like, yo, I found out Ram's plate number. No, but so just click that, and you'll see what I mean by girly, right? Like it's just.
I see, yeah. It's not that bad.
So, I mean, when you see that, and then you see me, right? It's just I don't know. So Suchi, do you have a link to your car? Because I don't know cars.
Sure.
Shit, I got one, but I haven't got the stream open because I was worried about my internet and then having that screen, and so I'll post it to you, Switchy. Hold up.
Sure.
But my first car was actually through Emily, my fiance. She actually taught me how to drive. I was 20 years old and I hadn't been driving, and I was just like, I'll bust it everywhere. I'm good. I get trains and just used to the younger life of I hustle and bustle everywhere. So, but then she had a 1991 Ford Laser, and it was clean. It was nice. This isn't obviously a nice, very very nice image of this one, but gave it a good clean up. Got my P's, provisionals, and yeah, it was actually no power steering, so you had to fully rip your arms around, get a good workout while you're driving.
It will not let me open it because it's an Australian website.
Oh, that's my car.
Wow.
It says I've been
Hold out.
denied access.
Yeah.
Oh, Suchi, that's a nice car, man.
Yeah.
It can be. Like for a first car, that's nice.
Yeah. But now I'm just driving the 07 Mazda 3, and I love it, honestly. It's like, I mean, it's got
Wait,
no power.
can I just take this moment to say, I don't know if I've said this before, but you know the new Toyota Camry they added to Rocket League?
Yeah.
Try that one.
That is my dad's car. It is the exact carbon
You gotta
copy
get it
of my.
then. You gotta get it then.
I did get it. And the thing is, guys, my dad's a taxi driver. So like I think of it only as a taxi now. And I'm just like, why is my dad's car in the game? Why is there a taxi in Rocket League, man?
funny.
Scuffed. It's funny.
Y'all should see the seat covers. They're sick. Yeah, so those of you that haven't seen the seat covers of my car, it's the only thing people ever notice and talk about. It's like, legit, my seat covers are bright-ass orange.
I was gonna say orange. Yeah.
And it
They
suits you,
are
man.
bright. It's funny. People, even like the neighbors, were talking about recently how they're like walking past and they wanted to knock on the door and be like, "Hey, one of the lights inside your car are on," but then they walk up and they're like, "No, it's not lights on inside the car. It's just the seat covers. They're so bright." Let's see Sweetest's.
It's my first. That's the first car.
Yeah, so it's nice, dude. It's a nice first car.
Then I missed it. I'm with the stream.
Explain what it is for the listening people.
It is a 2000. I think that's a 2005 Ford Expedition. Man, that car was. It was like driving a bus. Felt like.
Yeah, I was gonna say similar size. My mom, like when learning to drive a car, my mom drives a Cadillac Escalade, and oh my god, that thing is massive.
Your
I
mom
hate
had
it.
that.
I
Your
mean,
mom
I
had wheels.
like driving a smaller car easy because it's like easier for parking.
I hated
You're
driving it. I hated it.
Cheaper.
Yeah, no, I big cars I can't.
Too much petrol as well.
I can show you.
But no, but let me tell you now, because in New Zealand, especially where I live, Auckland, it's just hills, bro. It's hills. And let me tell you, the Nissan March, it's garbage, dude. I am putting the pedal to the metal, going up a hill, and I'm on 20.
That was
like,
me. That Ford Laser.
I can't get that
Every
car up a
hill.
hill.
I'd be max RPMing like, whoa! I'm like, come on, Lee, can make it, baby.
It sounds like a rocket ship about to take off, man. It's, no, the sweetest, bro. That car, it's a good choice, I think. It's a good first car.
You know, I just remembered. I asked you guys about like first fights. I never even said about my first fight.
Yes, I'd like to hear that. Let's hear that, and then let's end it off.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
I'll try to keep it sweet and short. Basically, I remember when I'd go out doing stupid graffiti, and different people and groups knew each other. So I had the name that I used to write up. And I remember being on the train with my friend. I was about 13, 14. And like we were heading down on the train. And then I seen this group of people. And I'm like, oh shit, I think I know who that is, And he comes over to me. And this guy's like 16, 17. Like not big, but like tall and skinny. And I knew he was older than me, like pretty scary dude at the time, especially for my age. And like I was just looking, I'm like, shit, everyone knows this guy. And he's like, oi, I heard you've been, capping me out and lining me, putting your line through me and putting yours over the top. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was. I was being a little cheeky fucker. And I was sitting there like, oh yeah. And he's like, where you getting off? What station? And I knew he's getting off where I'm getting off. And I'm like trying to like say, oh, like pretty much like the last station to see if he would. He's like, oh yeah, I'm getting off there too. And I'm just like, okay, all right. And then he's like, he's like, what do you reckon to this guy that was with him? He's like, oh, hey, Matt, you want to take him on? And I'm like sitting there like, oh man, I'm fucked. And this other guy's like 17 as well. I'm like, oh. And I had a friend with me at the time, and he's just like they just went and sat down waiting for us. And my friend's like, should we just leg it? And I'm like, no point, man. We ain't got nowhere to go. Like, I get off the train, and they're just walking alongside me, like, I'm just like, alrighty, and then there's like an oval. We get over to the oval, and just straight away, I just drop my bag. This guy just comes running at me, he's just swinging. I never had a fight. I wasn't sure how I was going to go, I'm just ducking and weaving and shit. And then like I did cop one or two, and I thought to myself, that wasn't that hard, and I'm throwing them back, and I started kicking this shit out of him. I'm like, all right then. And then he ended up on the ground. I'm just pounding him on the ground, and then by that point, I help him up. This is Australian culture for you, all right? This is why I wanted to mention it, because it's just Aussie culture. Beat the shit out of this guy, and he's just making these noises. I'm hitting him. I'm just like, all right, it's done. I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, like I've done this. I'm helping him up. The guy who originally had the problem with me comes over, this guy Liam, he's like, good on you, man. Just like shakes hands, like full, shakes hands. Yeah. And he's like, come around for a drink and smoke sometime, bro. I'm like, Yeah, all right, man.
That's so Aussie too.
Amazing.
That's so Aussie.
Yeah, and I'm like, and we were friends. We were friends after that. I ended up hanging out with him and going out with his friends, and
That is
just love
amazing.
culture.
That's amazing.
No, so no. My fight or flight is an instant flight. Like I was in okay, really short story. I guess it'll only take 10 minutes. When Pokemon Go was really, really big, we all had it. Let's be honest. I was in the city playing Pokemon Go, and I saw, I was just going around and I saw a Vaporeon, wild, and I was like, "Yo, that's dope." So I know that the city's crowded, and I'm not just gonna stop in the middle of the city, like while everyone's walking to go play Pokemon Go. I'm just gonna people. So I genuinely move out of the way. I am to the side of the footpath. I am not bothering anyone, right? So, or whatever you guys call it in America. It's not called footpath in America.
Crosswalks.
Yeah.
Sidewalk.
Sidewalk. Yes, I'm like very above my mature side. I'm not disturbing anyone. And this massive guy comes up to me, starts pushing me for no reason. It's like, "Oh, screw you, man, screw you." And I don't know this guy. I've never met this guy in my life. My immediate instinct: run. I just ran. And that's all. My fight or flight is like flight. I'm out. I was like, I'm not taking this guy on.
I'm gonna rip a poster like, "Oh, sweetest."
I was like, man, I just want to catch my Vaporeon. Leave me alone. So I just gapped it.
Was it the same guy you were on the bus with playing Rocket League Sideswipe next to?
No. That's not funny though. That's a funny one though.
I love it. It's so good.
That guy trying to play Pokemon Go and you were trying to steal his Vaporeon or something? Was that
Maybe I caught it and like he did it, so he just got like really like, screw you, man. I want the Vaporeon. I don't know.
I got stories, but I know you guys are.
We'll definitely have to get you on again if you have more
we'd
stories
love
to
to have you
share.
guys.
Whenever
You guys are
whenever
awesome.
you need.
Seriously.
You know, I could fit mine in, to be honest. I got some other shit. I'm like, I didn't mention that, but hey, that's cool.
Hey, maybe we'll bring back the same. We'll bring back the same group at another time. I imagine.
It was awesome having you guys.
Whenever you need me, you guys are just, y'all make my day, man.
Same with you guys, honestly. It's awesome. And all the people in the chat too, like, love you guys as well. Like, everyone's so supportive and like, just
YouTube watchers, Spotify listeners too,
That man Soup is in here.
Soup. Thank you for letting me meet this legend. Thank you for introducing us to
Bow down to Soup.
Yeah.
big old hug to Soup, man. Give Soup big hugs.
people on Spotify is like, Soup? But
Yeah.
Yo,
Expired.
Expired.
Oh, yes, expired Soup. Yes, it's very tasty.
It's better once it's past its date.
Yo, we all met around a bowl of soup that one day. I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Honestly,
I just also want to say, I was gonna do exactly what you're gonna say, Switchy.
big shout out to like everyone in chat. Like we said at the start, we're not picking names though because we're gonna miss somebody. But the people that are here.
I can't help it.
Yeah, I can kind of do.
Switchy, you've actually got that pretty spot on.
Hey, yours looks better than most. Hold up.
Yeah,
that hurts though. the angle I have to like push my. Oh god, I can't do it.
You did that pretty well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kyle. Yep, he's waiting for it. Kyle, the boy. We're not doing shout out, but Kyle.
Anyways, Kyle. Anyways, glad to have you guys on once again. We'll definitely have to do a part 2 of
Man, that was fun.
This group for sure. But thank you everyone for being here. Let's
Thank you guys.
I think yeah, I mean we'll end the podcast off here. I'm gonna stay alive a little bit here. I don't know if I'm gonna move into other stuff, but from here,
I wanted to introduce a new thing for every end of a podcast. All right,
yep,
guys, we're gonna do a countdown 3, 2, 1. All right, and all of us are gonna hold up a number 1 to 3. Right now, someone is obviously gonna tie with someone because there's 4 of us, and we just want to know who has that connection. Who do we vibe with? All right, who have we vibed with tonight? All right, ready? Just last thing. Okay, ready? 3, 2.
Oh no! This backfired for you, Ram.
Oh no! Rip. That's alright, sweetest. Maybe next time.
So the people who are listening, all of us put up 3, but Sweetest
you,
put up
bro.
1 because Sweetest is number 1.
Hey, you gotta shoot from the top, man. You gotta
Sweetest
shoot from the
number
top.
one.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, I just thought it was a funny little game we could do at the end of every stream.
No,
That was awesome though. I suck.
I'm seeing 2 from Icebrow, 1 from Arnie, 1 from Xenon. We got the chat even playing along. So
Hey,
Yeah.
what's up, one squad?
Yeah, one squad. Let's go.
Hey, don't leave me hanging, man. I suck out here.
I suck.
No, man, don't feel bad.
That's awesome.
Anyways, that will conclude this episode of the Maple Kiwi Podcast. Thank you for being here, and
Thank you guys so much.
we don't know what we're doing next episode, but yeah, we'll see you
Love
next
you
week,
guys.
hopefully.
That was good. Bye bye, everyone. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.